Hey, my name is Rick, and this is my wife, Ashley. We've been married for 7 years and together for 10 years, and this is our story.
So about 4 years ago, we started thinking more about children. And I remember Rick actually started saying it first, like, I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby, hanging around and just to play with. So we would go out to like the grocery store somewhere in public and there's be this baby screaming. And I would look at him.
I don't want a baby.
So he would be like, no, maybe not. And then time passed and we just really felt like, okay, this is time. And so we started trying and, it didn't seem to be working. And 6 months passed and then we kind of comforted ourselves with the idea that, well, most people, it can take you up to a year. That's kind of normal. And then a year passed and then more time kept passing and it just seemed like nothing was working. So that was really hard for us.
So then we went to our doctor and our doctor referred us to our specialist. And then the specialist, we went to do tests and more tests and blood tests and ultrasounds. And
it's a week of waiting to find out what your problem is. And that problem could mean you can't have a family. And then we found out our diagnosis, and our diagnosis was unexplained infertility. That was hard because there's nothing we could take into our own hands and do.
God was taking us on a deeper journey of what faith really meant. And faith in Him wasn't about the results.
Yeah.
It was actually about just trusting in Him. And I would get frustrated after the end of the month comes and I'm looking for that good news and that big wow, or
yeah,
that,
you
that
really wanted
moment,
to be
right?
excited.
I was really excited. And I remember getting so frustrated and so angry and, maybe I shouldn't say punching the seats, that kind of thing.
Did you punch a seat?
Yeah.
I love punching
I was
seats.
angry because it wasn't what I wanted to get. Mm-hmm. And in every time, God bring us back to this word of, do you have faith in me? Yeah. Do you trust in me?
So then another year passed and again, we're like, okay, God, now what? And so we were like, okay, well, it's time for a vision board, and just really felt that the word that God was giving us for this year was hope. And it was hard, a lot harder to have hope. So I think that word that God gave us was clearly very intentional.
Yeah, it makes sense when the Bible says hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. Mm-hmm. And when you get your hope up each time, and it doesn't happen. This is another year that passes. You get your hope up again. And so when God kept challenging us was have hope.
In Him. Hope. I remember being at work and it was just really hard to get back, past the disappointment and, and to feel hope. It was really hard. And Rick was at a meeting with the pastors and sent this gift along with Rick. And so Rick comes back and comes to my office and stops in with this big package.
I had no idea what it was.
You didn't know what it was, yeah. And I open it up and it's this sign that says hope is the anchor for the soul. And I just burst into tears right there because I just really didn't feel like I could have hope. So I just took some time because I knew that I could really let that moment pass and forget almost the magnitude of that. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to take some time and just pray and reflect. And so I was in the car and I was praying and just thanking God for reminding me of that. But I just didn't really feel the power of it. And because I think I was still really hurting, and it was still really hard. And so I was just trying to pray through it and be thankful through it. And I just remember so strongly these words that just came right to my mind. And God said, I see you. And that was it. It was just, I see you. It just reminded me again so strongly that God sees us and He loves us and He's with us,
So after nearly 4 years of trying, what seemed to be another month with more complications, bad news, she gets a call to come in.
Well, I went in and I talked to the nurse and I said to her right away, I'm having some of these complications again. I don't know how things are going. She's like, just go get your pregnancy test. I was like, okay. So I did, and I just went back to work again, and that's what you do. And they called, and I was in my resource room, and she's like, it's a positive. And I was just like, what? So I just burst into tears, and it was a lot of joy, but a lot of relief. What's really neat is our 3-month period where you traditionally would wait to tell people, make it public, is actually Mother's Day. And so we really wanted to share with our church and with everybody on Mother's Day that I'm going to be a mother, he's going to be a father, and we just thought it was really great news.
And we wanted to share this basically on Mother's Day, is because we know that a lot of people have a struggle, and a lot of people have a journey, and a lot of people are going through things, and God sees them, and God sees you. And we wanted to tell people that
with or without the result, He has sustained us and will continue to sustain us as we, experience this ongoing adventure. So we just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day. And we just hope and pray that our story is an encouragement to others and just a reminder that God sees you. I think that's the most important thing.